I don't normally make a video this late at night. However, I really do want to be honest. You know, sometimes you're scrolling around social media and a lot of what you find, some of it is superficial. And then other times you find something, you find someone that really resonates with you beyond a lot of other things. Now, that is to say that I'm not going to sit here and, put one person above anybody else. I don't want to do that. But you have to address what feels fulfilling to listen to and healing to listen to on a soul level, on a deep level, on a truth level, on a true level of satisfaction and happiness and healing. If I didn't say that already. I was watching somebody, and as I was watching it was a very therapeutic, it was a therapeutic experience, and it could be a therapeutic experience. And, a lot of what this person had to say was very real and very profound and very meaningful at a deep spiritual level. And once you hear a video or a live stream from this person, you will know what I'm talking about. The channel name is Owning Authenticity. And I've never had an Amenten guest like this before. I don't think I have. Maybe I have. Maybe there have been people in the past that may have come, pretty close to this. And there have people that have been coming here for certain reasons. A lot of the people who have come to my Amenten, and a lot of my reasonings for them were superficial, were idealistic, were in the mind. I was drawn to this person based off of their appearance, something that they've said, a characteristic, something or other. Something about them. And there were phases. The interesting thing to note is that it comes in waves where sometimes you feel drawn to the person, other times you don't. That's something to definitely take note of. But when you encounter a person, and whatever your mindset is, whatever is going on a mental and emotional level, however you're feeling emotionally, mentally, spiritually, psychologically, there's no crush or charm or, idealistic, phase where you're drawn to them at a certain point and not other times. Where it's, that feeling is going to be there, and it could be of love. The whole thing about beloved. Now, this is going to be a revelation. For a long time, beloved has been used as a means of a term, this Amenten guesses beloved, this, it's going on. Well, we changed that to charm, the charm and the different types of charm. But now, I want to take that a huge step further and officially call it beloved. Real, authentic pull and, attraction towards somebody on a spiritual level, on a heart level, without the, ego mind of, and here's a hint. If at times you find yourself shying away, or, the idea of the person, and then you're sort of expressingly, talking, saying this, doing this, you find yourself wanting to look away, where it's better, the idea is better than the actual thing itself, that, and that inhale, and not the exhale, and not the breathing, and you can center yourself and not relax. You can, okay, if you can center yourself and relax, and then you feel that real draw, and that real connection with this person, that this person understands you, gets you, is healing and interesting, entertaining, but far more than that, meaningful and profound for you to listen to. And if it's an exhale and you can relax, be in the present moment, all those kind of things, and then feel that beloved kind of feeling, then that is something different compared to the inhale of just getting excited in the moment, of just the sheer idea of it. I'm trying to think of what the energy feels like. It's sort of a tight energy. It's a tight energy where you are looking away. It is from the ego mind. You want to prove yourself, bigger and better. You like the idea of yourself, who you are, in being attracted to this person as opposed to the person, him or herself, and who they are and how you feel about them. Whereas it's much more real, where you're looking at them. Here's a hint: looking at that person in the eye, making connection and contact with them, and relaxing inside yourself and being present, listening to what they have to say, hearing what they have to say, feeling what they have to say, really taking in the message that they have to give, and being real, swallowing pride, being, present with the emotions that you're feeling at the moment, when you find yourself willing to, be real, feeling that humble. Humility is also another aspect of this, where you're really feeling touched and moved on an emotional and nurturing level. And that is different to then say, oh, I'm drawn to this person, but actually I would rather look away. And you turn away towards something that is more fulfilling on a soul level than being in relationship with this person, because it's just phase because it's just an idea. And often a lot of these types of things can be in between. It can be, in between what I'm saying where you feel very neutrally about the person. I mean, there's so many different ways it could show up, and I don't want to go through the whole spectrum. I mean, there's a whole spectrum of how you feel about people, a whole spectrum from charm, from the idealistic attraction to the person to the beloved sense. And when we go to the right side of the spectrum, we get the real, true, you can't live without this person. This person, completes you, makes you feel, seen, heard, understood, loved, nourished, cared for at the deepest level. Let me be honest. Trying to find that and call it Baron Reed, first of all, a spiritual intuitive teacher, medium, oracle card creator, expert. It was almost like chasing down a cloud. I could see it. It was so inviting. It was just, but somehow I was so determined to catch it, I never could grab onto it. With Deborah Silverman, those short videos, they're so short that I can watch one after the other and I can get so consumed into the superficial. The lighting, the background, the general descriptions about the things. Where it can get surfacey and same old, the same things being repeated over and over again, similar messages being said. And it's to where it can get tiring after a while to see one video after another which is so similar. And I feel that guilt. And I feel like I ruined or tainted or distorted or sabered, spoiled, abused, binge watch, what are the other, letters of, exhausted, ruined, gone through the motions of watching one video after the other. And why is it that you hear these same things said from people? These people say these same things, and yet it really doesn't click. It's just the same circle around and around, and it doesn't really click and resonate and hit home for you and really impact and transform you in a lot of those profound ways. Why doesn't this person resonate? That should be the big question, and be honest with yourself if the person does not resonate. Sometimes what resonates, who resonates, can be in the most unlikely of places. Yes. Or you didn't expect it. And it's often not your ego telling you, oh, this person's right, no, this person's not right. Or your soul is saying, this person may not be famous, have millions of dollars, have all this status, fame, attention, wealth, prestige, following, whatever externally defines them on a physical level. But on a soul level, it's very different. I have a lot of ideas going through my mind. And my Mercury in Taurus is, there to help me be concise and, be deliberate about my points. I think that if I have a lot of Gemini, I would like there to be the Taurus in there to ground, to focus the energy. Where's the limit to this? Is what you're saying meaningful? Are you, like, all this kind of practical, grounded things. We can slow down, focus and commit on something. Yeah, all that. So when someone's not resonating, that's a huge question. Now, I'll let Bjorn read 2 decks that she created. It's amazing to me that this person could be a con artist and create those decks. One and then another, both based off of somebody that she worked with and knew. They weren't based off of her following her own inner guidance and truth and intuition. They were to try to hurt and steal the creative integrity and license and creative resources from somebody, which is wrong. I'm not saying that all that money that I spent amounted to just buying a lot of decks and then not resonating. I don't know that yet. I'm really going to plan during this Mercury retrograde coming up to really use those oracle decks and really get into the spiritual practices and all that. And so, so much of what Call It Baron Reed and Deborah Silverman built money. The bells and whistles, the superficial, buy this, buy that, do all these things that takes away from the real substance of what you're talking about. And you might be in a certain place where you don't want to hear that substance and you just want to hear the superficial stuff and you don't care about that. Where you can surrender your mindset, curiosity, expectations, interest, whatever you're feeling and thinking, be in the present moment and receive what this person over here is talking about. They are likely to produce more free content. They are likely to be able to believe of, oh, I want to make this accessible to more people or all people or, much more people. And I want to not have all those planets revolving around the, sun that I have to pay so much money for, but the sun can be the sun can be free. I don't want the planets, I want the sun. And I don't want to pay for the sun. I want that shining light of illumination, authenticity, brightness, that kind of thing. That can be a huge indicator. And there's many indicators why something doesn't resonate. Just doesn't feel like it resonates. Now, there were several other astrologers who were so absorbed into, the math and the, data and the, whole list of terminology falling in the same category. If you have planets or points of these things, I said all this in another video. What are the significations of those houses? Download the Astrology 101 PDF guide that I'm giving you. Really making the information very general and superficial. And I'm thinking, well, I'm not even an astrologer. And my video is way more in depth. But maybe, here's the catch. My videos are way more in depth, but they have so much incredible, valuable, spiritual information that is prescriptive, not necessarily all predictive. They are, inclusive, detail, real, authentic, honest, um, thorough, so many different things. Compare my videos to the videos and live streams of owning authenticity and Carly. I have got on that bandwagon of all those mathematical left brain side astrologers who say that planets are detriment in this sign, fall in this sign, don't do this during Mercury retrograde, all the same things you keep hearing, it doesn't resonate, and you don't agree with it. I don't believe in planets being detriment or fall. They all have dark sides and positive sides. Venus in Scorpio may be very different than a Venus in Taurus. Doesn't mean it's less than. It means it's very different. And that's special. For many, many different reasons. Now, I was sort of hinting at astrology with Heather. Let me be honest about astrology with Heather. During the fall of last year, I was going through a lot of difficult stuff. OCD, insecurity, anxiety, guilt, so much of that. And I have Jupiter, which is about expansion, growth, happiness, joyfulness, blessings, in Virgo. And I have sort of caught on to Jupiter's detriment in Virgo. That's not that I want to believe it. I don't think that this person, Carly, of owning authenticity, believes in that whole hierarchy and structure of planets. There are some who are more gentle, light about it, more positive, uplifting, empowering, who just honestly say this planet is detriment in this planet. I said that because I caught on to that whole soup of that information that wasn't originally my truth. I don't believe in detriment, fall, exaltation, whatever, the whole thing. I want to get to the point here. I really do. It's getting late. It is getting late. But maybe I'm seeing Heather Eland as a reflection of myself. I'm going to be sending a questionnaire to Heather Eland. And those questions are going to be a reflection of all the issues that I was dealing with this fall, last fall. Have you ever had OCD? Have you ever done something related to that? Have you ever felt inabundant? Where have you overanalyzed things? Where have you not seen the flaws? Very similar to Jonathan Deserts, who was a Virgo, who came to my Amenten, who had all this abundance going on in his life, but it was almost superficial. It didn't seem true. It didn't seem real. It didn't seem internal, like there was a lot of depth and emotional substance all to it. Like he was resisting that water element of emotion, of all those things. He didn't have a whole lot of water in his natal chart. And the moon and jovial, carefree, life is a party, let's expand, let's travel, let's learn, let's have fun. That sign of Sagittarius squaring his natal sun in Virgo. There was a conflict in his chart, and so abundant, portrayed himself as so lucky, and yet that Virgo, picking, analyzing, so caught in the little details, so bogged down in the minutiae, all that. Analyzing, judging, criticizing, all that. There was obviously conflict. I could feel that mutable, nervous, tense, high-strung discomfort when he was communicating, and it was not the most graceful sight and experience, in my opinion. I could feel that tension of the Virgo self and the Sagittarius self. So, with Heather, who has the Sun in Virgo, I'm going to get into this. So the Virgo Sun is a reflection of the overanalyzing, being really critical, all that, that whole part of myself getting caught in the little details, judging, finding the flaws, picking those flaws apart, feeling an abundant feeling, like gratitude, lack of, joy in the present moment, all those kinds of issues. The moon in Cancer represents how emotional it is. She has moon in Cancer. My progressed moon is moving through Cancer right now. Her natal moon is in Cancer. And so on an emotional level, needing that comfort, needing security, and, so much. And I'm thinking about eating, banana bread or cinnamon bread, drinking coffee in the mornings when it was really light and the light was shining through, and I was, hot and sitting and, ruminating and wallowing in the negativity and the guilt and all of that. In the mornings when I used to go to DMAC, and I sat in that student center all alone and felt that guilt, felt that isolation, felt that loneliness and that depression about life, thinking about all of the inabundance that I was feeling, all of that going on. She also has Mercury in the sign of Libra. I did not feel as abundant during that Libra season. Mercury in Libra, so curious, so intellectually curious, yet with all that impurity and that guilt and that lack of, abundance, expansion, curiosity, enthusiasm, and excitement about life, that was impaired, that was distorted. You're trying to make peace and find positivity amongst all that difficulty and all those challenges. So, where you're talking, being in the present moment, you have so much mental, emotional stuff happening. I do know that her Mars is retrograde in Aries. And the Mars retrograde in Aries of 2020 may have been a huge, profound time for her at the time. And Mars retrograde typically deals with bottling up amongst all the inabundance, the insecurity, the guilt, all that. You're bottling up your emotions, you're bottling up your, expression, your self-expression, your anger, asserting yourself, putting yourself out there. And I'm trying to make little steps to put myself out there. I'm trying to free myself, and Mars retrograde presents a challenge to that. And that's what I am working through. I'm at the stage now where I want to go, perfectly imperfect, be free. I don't care anymore about trying to make things perfect, because how is that going to be a change or transformation to any issue that I'm dealing with right now, other than just another fish I have to fry, another issue I have to deal with, saying this thing in this video, making sure that this is perfect. How is it going to change, this huge issue over here with the insecurity, the guilt, the, obsessing over these things, the compulsive habits that I have, all of that. And, I watch those videos and I hear a reflection of myself as somebody who takes a serious, more left-brain approach to astrology. Here's one thing I remember, is that she had a guest on one of her videos. And this made me feel a little guilty. I make long, in-depth videos, and then I see astrologers making shorter videos. It used to be the other way around. But now I feel like my videos should be shorter, and I'm trying to make them more general because of what I'm seeing around me. Because I'm seeing that people are being more astrologers are being more general, videos are shorter, so I feel the pressure and the need to be part of that. I don't want to be, the odd one out and the only person who is, making these really in-depth videos, going into so much depth, and then just, abusing, going through all that information, all of that. Owning authenticity, and, Carly is so in-depth and makes really, really long videos that are real and authentic, but all that information comes from what is her truth, what she knows. I don't think that she went on the internet and read through article after article to then put that information together and then have so much information. All that is coming from what is coming to her authentically in the present moment. And that is a really beautiful reflection of what I enjoy doing and what is fulfilling to me. And I do not feel envy or jealousy for her when I watch her. It's very different. I am part of the YouTube community. I create videos. And I do not feel those feelings for her or anyone really maybe feeling out of the loop and feeling like I am lacking something because my videos aren't shorter and I'm comparing myself to other people. So anyway, Heather Eland was saying